Welcome back to Power Recap. We are told at the start of the movie, the UN has required that overpopulation be reduced. Students in the United States were given a test every year, and those who did not pass with good grades were killed. Thinning was another name for this test. Everyone was now ready for the test that had to take place in 18 hours. Later, we see a girl named Liana who was preparing her younger brother for the test. Despite his extensive preparation, he informs Liana that he can't prepare. He requests contact lenses because he fears he might cheat. The answers to the problems would be visible on the sheet through this lens. Liana hands her brother a pair of contact lenses. She advises him that after he has used it, he must destroy it. Liana afterward acquired a doctor's call. She takes her younger siblings to the hospital right away. After visiting the hospital, the doctor told her that her mother's condition is bad. She has to be at ease at all costs. We later view the governor's house. We notice the governor's son, Black, inside the house. He tells his guards to bring him something to eat from the kitchen. When the guard has left, Black arrives to meet up with his friend. His friend claims that this strategy is always effective. Black informs his friend Ellie that they are likely to meet for the last time. Because they, too, have a test the next day, Ellie confesses that she is terrified of the test. Meanwhile, a guard of Black arrives and takes him to his father. His father gives him a hug and wishes him luck on the test before leaving. Later, we see a school scene with black-suited guards. They were keeping an eye on the students and checking them. We also encounter Liana's brother, who has misplaced his contact lens. Meanwhile, guards see him and ask him to move further. Liana, seeing all of the parents saying their goodbyes to their children. Meanwhile, Black appears and asks that he be given contact lenses. Liana, on the other hand, claims to just have one lens that she has given to her brother. On the other hand, there were guards inspecting the students. They discovered a student's cheating device. After holding him for a while, the guards took him to the jail. The test begins, and we observe as the test begins. The guards lock the whole school. Teachers instructed students that the test is a bit tough, but they trust their student that they'll attempt it. Later, the lights of the class dim, every student takes a tab and begins his test. When the test ends, all the students were quite afraid. Few of them were crying. The failures' names were now being announced. The guards took all of the students who failed. Few of them were operated and few requested the release. A few of them have been taken by guards. Ellie, Black's friend, has now also failed. The guards also took her. And the teachers were congratulating all of the students who had passed. And they were left in the recording room, which Liana could see from the other side. Her brother was seated between failed students. Black, on the other hand, was pleading with his father to save his friend Ellie. Black, on the other hand, was telling him to observe the rules. Black ragged because he tried everything he could to save Ellie but couldn't. In the next scene, a year has passed, and only 24 hours remain in the second test's conduction. Liana was getting her younger siblings ready for this test. Liana's mother had also passed away. On the other side, we see Black in his room, working out. In front of him was also a photo of Ellie. He was looking at her, and on the way, he put letters into the mailbox. When his father opens it, he finds a tablet with a video that Black has recorded. He says in the video that he'll fail the test deliberately. He states if his father wants to stand with the system, he should also support the system that will murder his son. Black's father insisted on bringing his son, but the exam had already begun. In addition, the school was closed, and the test was started in the classroom. On the other hand, we have junior students. A video was being shown to students by the teacher, in which a cartoon was explained. This test is designed to detect overpopulation. America only allows to live the students who are intelligent students, and those who pass this test. Following the conclusion of the video, the children clapped. Their test was conducted by the teacher, and on the other hand, we notice senior students who have also begun their tests. A camera has kept an eye on them, and as we can see, Black, who finished his test right away. and he sits quietly in class, attracting the attention of his teachers. Liana's brother was testing in the junior section. He raises his hand to ask a question, but the teacher is not permitted to assist him. Liana's brother is told by the teacher to do his best. The junior student's test has also been completed. The teacher instructs all students whose names will be called to stand up. Teachers on both sides begin to call out the names of those who have failed. Now we find that Liana failed her senior year as well. The guards took her, but Black has passed the test. Black's father receives a call informing him that the transfer has been succeeded. Black notices that the failed students have been taken to a hall. On the other side, Liana's teacher tells a guard that Liana can't be failed. She is her best student, but when guards check, he comes to know that there's no mistake in the control room. Later, he asks Liana to say goodbye to his teacher. Liana's teacher gives her a key card and hugs her. She believes that everyone in life is given a second chance. Those who failed were taken to a hall. To conceal the card, Liana keeps it in her mouth. On the other hand, Black appears in the hall. The students who failed were given new clothes and moved to a different room. All of the students were tied to a chair after being carried there. The guards who were around them were holding injections. After seeing this, a couple of the students were terrified and others were anxious. During this time, Black is seen distracting a guard. And then he enters the control room after killing him. When he comes inside and tries to use the computer. However, he needed to enter a password for a computer that he did not know. In exchange, he switches off the electricity to the entire school. The head of the control room, on the other hand, notices that guard. Black killed him, as did the room where failed students were kept. During this moment, a few of them try to flee, and Liana also flees. With the help of the teacher's keycard, she unlocks the door. Her teacher had given her this card. Guards keep track of all the students they meet. That Liana is nowhere to be found, and she has fled. In the meantime, a guard notices her and learns that she is a teacher. She also shows her keycard. Yes, she responds, she has seen a student flee. When the guards notice this, Liana attacks him from behind. Meanwhile, Black arrives and the two of them work together to remove the guard. Liana claims that she cannot be failed, but Black claims that he has deliberately failed. Despite this, his father has saved him. The head of the control room, on the other hand, says, "We'll have to put the place on lockdown until they catch Liana." Whatever the case may be, parents must wait for their children. Liana and Black were concealed in the ventilation system, and they were both heading into a server room from there. The head of the control room, on the other hand, calls all of the teachers. And he checks the key card of all teachers. Now Liana's teacher doesn't have the card. On the other side, Black's father, who was a governor, was also ragged. He was asked to handle this situation soon. Liana and Black, who was passing from a vent, while passing Black falls into a pool. Liana comes to his rescue and takes him around the corner. They change their damp clothes later by taking clothes from a locker. Meanwhile, Liana notices another vent and leads them inside. On the other hand, a student has an argument with the guard in the recording room. As a result, the guard strikes him, and Liana's friend records the incident on his phone. Now he sends it to another reporter friend of his. Liana's keycard falls while she is passing through the vent. A guard approaches her as she tries to hold the keycard. Meanwhile, Black hides Liana, but the guard who was watching him notices him. After killing him, Black puts on his uniform. Liana's instructor flirts with a male teacher and grabs his card. When the male teacher does not have a card, a check is made. The control room's head thinks he helped Liana in fleeing and she had his card. Lena has now arrived at the server room, where she discovers a computer. However, the computer demands a password, which she does not have. She attempted to use her key card, but it was not recognized. She texts a video to a friend, and the computer is unlocked with a password. She examines her grades, which she receives a 98% on. She looks at Ellie's score, which is 88%, and wonders how she could have failed. She then double-checks Black's score, who was only passed by 15%. She sees the news of the governor, in which he claims that after failing, Liana flees. In addition, 2 guards have been killed, and the head of the control room sees Liana from the camera. And they capture Liana. She says that I've passed and I've evidence. On the other side, Black was also captured. The news reporter finds the list of marks. She was announcing that Liana had received the highest grade. Despite this, she has failed, and the governor's son had been passed. Following this information, the governor ordered Liana's release. Now that Black has been captured, Liana goes to him, and Liana is set free. Black was now content, and the school's lockdown had been lifted. Liana returns home from school and embraces her younger sister. The parents whose children had not arrived wept a lot. The governor has also admitted to making a mistake. The failing students were carried to a location in an elevator. The pupils who failed see a factory where all of the tablets were manufactured, on which kids were tests administered, and they kept all of the students who failed. At the end of the film, when Black sees Ellie, he gets shocked. The film ends here. Thank you for watching.